in career services, at a career fair, on the mall, in the hallway. Anybody in here I've had any discussion with previously? Or are we all kind of new to each other? We're all kind of new to each other? Okay. Well, in that case, my name is Carol Adams Shearer, and I am the career counselor assigned to the College of Criminal Justice. And I have office hours over here twice a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And hopefully I will be seeing some of you in my office for some more personalized services. That would be great, because then I can work with you on one-on-one, and we can talk about things in a lot deeper discussion than we're going to be able to this afternoon. And your first speakers for today are actually not going to be me. We also have prepared to present to you this afternoon Dr. Dozier and Shelley Baird, who supervise and run the internship program. Has anybody made arrangements to have an internship yet? Is anybody planning to make arrangements to have an internship? Okay, we got a couple, yay! Because the idea is, I advise nobody, try not to graduate without doing an internship. Okay, we recently got some updated data from employers, from the NACE organization, and one of the things that they have high on the priority list of things that they want from recent college graduates is that they have done an internship. There are some good reasons for that, but since the internship thing isn't my presentation, I'm going to stop now, because I get passionate about certain things, and turn things over to Dr. Dozier.
Thank you very much.
Hello?
And is it on? Here? Okay. I'm Jim Dozier. I'm the internship coordinator. So you're going like, okay, how many people, anybody know me? Haven't met you? Oh, yeah, I know you. What is an internship director, and what does he do? And why should I listen to him about jobs? Well, to do that, and I apologize for people who heard this before, but 51 years ago, I joined the Houston Police Department. I know you can't believe 51 years. Go get over that, man. 1967, and I became a Houston police officer. I spent 5 years in patrol, radio patrol we used to call it then. Now it's just police officers out there. But while I was doing that, I came to Sam Houston State University, and I was awarded my degree in criminal justice. So after I had my degree in criminal justice, I decided, or I had the opportunity to become a federal agent, which I did, and I did that for 11 years, most of that time as a special agent with the Drug Enforcement Administration, or as you might know it, DEA. After 11 years there, I had gone on to earn a master's degree and a law degree, and the DEA thought it was a good time to start transferring people around because we were about to have a facility, some sort of coordination with the FBI, and they wanted to move me either to Miami, New York, or LA. Well, I had a brand new baby, a brand new house, and a brand new law degree. So rather than go, I took a lump sum retirement from the federal government, and for the next 11 years was a criminal prosecutor, including 8 years of that as an elected prosecutor in Texas. In 1994, I was given the opportunity to go to work for the state of Texas as the director of the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement that oversees all law enforcement agencies. I was also a peace officer during that time. I did that for 11 years, and after 38 years of active law enforcement, both as a local officer, a county officer, a state officer, and a federal agent, I retired. But I came to work here. And since then, I have taught many courses here. I still have an active teaching load with graduate students in the Department of Homeland Security, but I am been for the last many years the director with my able, and I can't do without her, right-hand person, Shelley Beard. So, when I'm telling you about agencies and when I'm telling you about law enforcement and when I'm telling you about positions, I've been a gun-toting police officer for 51 years. I'm honorably retired now, and I have experience in all these areas. So when we talk to things and we talk about things, I can help share with you what you should do and shouldn't do. But I'm going to tell you something first off, is that in the jobs that you are wanting to do, small things can have very large consequences. By that I mean, you get a DWI, that's bad enough, but you can't be a police officer in the state of Texas for 10 years, even if you can get a job after that. A domestic violence, even at a Class C level, you can never carry a gun in the United States in any law enforcement position. So, those small things. Other small things that I'm sure our career services people will tell you and over is be careful what you put on social media, be careful about things you hang out with, because you haven't chosen a profession that's not going to look into your background when you go apply for it. I think one of the most important things students can do is to avail themselves, if possible, of an internship. You get 9 hours of credit. We used to call it writing enhanced, now there's, but you get 9 hours of credit, but we have you in an agency doing the type of work that you want to aspire to, 40 hours a week for a full semester. Anytime you'll talk to Mrs. Beard or me, a lot of times the first question you'll hear from us is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And so some of you in here are taking criminal justice or victim studies or minors in psychology. You have multiple interests. Not every job requires you to be a gun toter. There are so much things that have to be done in the criminal justice system that are not pistol packing positions. Also, for every one job in public service, such as local law enforcement, state, so forth, there are 3 in private industry. A lot of our people go on to work with private corporations. And so what I'm telling you is what you think today, and as you see and look towards your future, don't look through a straw. Take the wide-angle lens, because life will throw you curveballs and things will come up that you don't know. When I started as a Houston Police Department officer, at the time you could be a policeman at 19 years old, which I started, never in my life would I have ever envisioned my career would have gone where it's gone, and now I would be up here talking to students like I was sitting here over half a century ago. So, the thing I'll tell you, how many people here are, do we have any freshmen here? Sophomores? Juniors? And seniors? Okay. You need to really start taking a look at these internships as a junior. That doesn't mean we can't get you a job as a senior, but as Mrs. Beard can tell you, a lot of times the federal agencies, if you want to go to FBI, which now has a way that you have to go through the internet to do it, or if you want to go to the DEA or ATF, it sometimes takes us a year to get you through the process, to get you on the application, to get their background investigation done on you. And so you look ahead of time. But keep your mind open, because I don't want you to be disappointed in the internship. A large number of our students, approximately a third, are hired at the agency where they do their internship. Another 1/3 have very good connections, or they are connected to a job through this. Another third maybe go on to graduate school, go to law school, but overall our percentages are very high. One of the reasons is the employers tend to like, one, you're coming to a top-tier university for the field you've chosen. Secondarily, they like the fact they're able to spend the whole semester with you, observing you, actually getting a free look at what kind of person you would be. Can you fit with their team? And don't ever believe that the rest of your career you're not going to be working in teams. And they get to observe this. And so you're almost giving them a free peek as a potential employee. The things are, when you get there, we call it establishing your brand, establishing who it is you are and what you're going to do. And you do that by doing the best you can and getting out front. And I'm going to tell you, we are so lucky to have such a terrific career services department here, because Sam Houston State, especially in this department, is well known for graduating a lot of times, especially first-time college graduates, first family, never been in a family, come out here. We have excellent numbers in getting you employed, because ultimately that's, you know, some might be somebody in here who says, yes, I want to go on and get my master's degree and my PhD and become a researcher. But most of the students I talk to said, I want to prepare myself and get a career where I enjoy my work. And one thing I can tell you, after 51 years in this business, I've never had a job that I did not like my work. I never got up in the morning hating my job or not wanting to go to work. I mean, there's a few times I'd like to go because the weather's nice. It'd be nice to go fishing today, but I can't. But if you can do that and set yourself and your life on a career that you enjoy doing, money is not always the great motivating factor. Not too many people want to make a lot of money, so they go to the CoCJ school. But there was a thing I saw in the Houston Post one time. It's no longer publishing, but it had an article in the life section that says, life's too short to hate your job. And so true it is, because it'll fly by, and if you do something you love to do, you will not ever regret it. Internships give you the opportunity to go out and also see whether it's something you're interested in. Okay, we have several booklets that you can go see in Mrs. Beard's office that list the number of internships that are available. You can also pick places that you know people. Maybe some of you have parents in the business, or brothers or cousins or relatives in certain areas to help you select an internship. We're not picky as far as where you're going to take your internship, as long as it's related to your job, and we will work with you to try to establish that type of thing for you. Now, what I'm going to ask in a few minutes is Mrs. Beard to tell you what you need to do to come up about inquiring about internships. And I also want to make it clear that if you have an issue that I need to know about before we do an internship, just come talk to me. It may not be insurmountable. If you have a large history of using drugs, I will tell you DEA is not going to take you. But that doesn't mean somebody won't take you, and that doesn't mean because you made a mistake that you can't do something else. As long as you tell us out front, we can help overcome those things. Occasionally, when we get interns, and Mrs. Beard could tell you, I handled one just recently where I look at what somebody says and it doesn't make sense to me, so we send it back for more information. There's certain things you don't forget, and I'll tell you, you can't hide in this business when they start doing your background investigation. And one of the things I will tell you, they're more likely to give you more trouble for you lying to them than to telling them the truth on the front end of it if you have an issue. But you're in a great school to get a great education, to prepare yourself to go into a career, and what an excellent chance we have to get you a job. We're not going to get the job for you, but we're preparing you. Career Services is going to do everything they can to prepare you, whether it's going to be mock interviews or there's going to be this career fair we're having where we'll have 50 or so people you go to, you talk to them, local, federal, private industries. And some things students don't do a lot of times, which it's really bad, even if you're a freshman or sophomore, and it's going to be a few years before you're in a job. If you see a police officer or police or some other representative of some agency sitting out here in the lobby trying to recruit you, it's incumbent upon you to go talk to them. Even though if you're not ready to go to work for them, you start arming yourself with information. Because I'm going to tell you, the 4 years you're here now, some of you have 1 year to go. Some of you have 2 years to go. It's going to go fast. And we will do everything we can, make sure that you have an opportunity to succeed. And today is just an initial part of that circumstance, is to get you going in the right direction. I'd like Mrs. Beard to tell you a little bit about what you need to do as far as starting with your internship, what you need to acquire from her, and what she's going to need for you to do before she'll get the file to me, and then we'll meet and we'll go from there. So there's the fundamentals of things you're going to have to do.
Okay, as Dr. Dozier said, when you start thinking about doing an internship, you need to let your advisors know that you're thinking about it. That way they can work you into your degree plan. Your internship, like Dr. Dozier said, is you get 9 credit hours for your internship, and that is geared more toward your upper level electives. So more or less a senior. And as you can see on the back of the card that you got, that you're required to have 90 hours completed toward your degree plan, 18 hours completed toward your CJ classes, and that is at the time your internship begins. So, for example, like Dr. Dozier was saying, the federal internships, you need to apply, pretty far in advance, about a year out, because it does take a while for us to process your paperwork and then get it to them and they process it, and then they're going to send you an additional paperwork and you have to fill out and return to them. So we know at the time you apply for that federal internship that you will not have your hours, your required hours yet. We will check into it and make sure that you do at the time your internship begins, but you need to go ahead and apply with us. That's a lot of questions we have from students. And as you can see on here also, for local or state, your overall GPA needs to be a 2.5, federal is a 3.0. And also, just when you come in to see me, I'll go over the application process. There is an application you have to fill out. You'll fill it out, return it to me, it'll go to Dr. Dozier, he'll review it, and then we'll let you know if you've been approved to intern. If you have been approved to intern, that's when you're going to go out and seek your agency that you wish to intern with. Depending on what agency it is, I'll let you know if we send them the paperwork like some federal agencies, or if you have to go out and seek your agency and fill out their paperwork and then get back with us to which agency that you're in contact with. Any questions?
Thanks, Shelley. These things that we're talking about are competitive. Agencies recruit, but then agencies select. Because you're recruited doesn't mean you're going to be selected. So that's why you're setting your own brand to be the person that's selected. And by doing that, getting a degree from here, You're competing not only from other students within here, because like Secret Service usually takes one person a semester. But you're not only competing maybe with other students from here that want that Secret Service position, but students from other universities. I think that we have the advantage is a lot of internships where students go for a few hours a week, maybe one day a week. It's a little harder on you guys to do it 40 hours a week. But I managed to, I didn't tell you, but I finished after my law degree, went on and got a PhD. I got all 4 degrees working full time. Is it easy? No. Can it be done? Yes. So when you're going to have to step a little further or work a little harder or stretch a little bit to get to your career goals, don't be afraid to do it. And I know, what time are we going to have career services going to start talking? Is she coming in back in today? Oh, there you are. You hid from me. I was going to now brag on career services. I used to be on their kind of an advisory board for a few years. There is no organization on campus that I have seen that really steps up to the bar to really try to help you succeed. By seeing things, these are trained experts on resumes. I can't tell you how many bad resumes I've seen, but once you go to career services, get it worked up, they turn into good resumes. Resumes, whether I hand it to somebody, and there's a different resume now, which is a new world from a few years ago, that you apply online many times. And they're looking for things like keywords on qualifications that you need for. How to dress, how to behave, how to do things on social media. And all of those things they can help you with. I know they do mock interviews, and she's going to tell you what is available to you. But you're so lucky to have them. Career Services has been excellent, and they have a representative here 2 days just in the CJ department to meet with you and talk to you. Now, if you can't get there on the days they're here, I know that she will be happy to make an appointment to meet you over at Career Services. So please give your full attention to them and take my word for it. For every minute you spend taking their advice, it's going to pay off greatly for you. So
Here I am. All right, thank you. All right, so we're going to get into the meat of getting ready for the career fair, why you're going to do it, what you get out of it, you know, why you're going to do an internship, even though the people who, by the raising of hands, you know, we didn't have that 100%. I wanted to see everybody's hands up. Yes, I've researched it. I know what I'm supposed to do, and I'm definitely going to do one. Okay, so let me just tell you this part. Before you graduate, do an internship. I have people give me lots of different reasons why they cannot do one, but I'm going to tell you in the long run, it is to your advantage to do the internship. It's a form of networking that can't be beat by any other form of networking. Why? Because the employer gets to see you up close and personal. And it gives you the advantage over all the other people that did not do an internship. They know you. So when your resume comes across their desk, they know you because it's already been by there once, and now you've added to it during the time that you've been there. When you graduate, your degree by itself will not get you a job. That's one of the myths that many students have. Well, I went to Sam Houston, and Sam Houston is a great university for criminal justice, so when I get my criminal justice degree, lots of people are going to be out there ready to hire me when they see a bachelor's degree, Sam Houston. It doesn't work like that. They will be happy to see that you got that bachelor's degree from Sam Houston, but they're going to see some other things to go with it because you're competing with other people for these jobs. There are lots of people all over the country who are going to be competing with you for jobs. When you graduate, thousands of other people will be graduating. When you get your CJ degree, thousands of other people will be getting their CJ degree. So why do we do these career fairs? To help you gain that competitive edge. It's one of the tools, one of the resources, one of the things that we do to help you get the competitive edge, to help you boost your brand. Dr. Dozier briefly touched on branding, but you know, a brand starts with you. And what is that, you know? Well, the brand is usually what, when you see Oreo cookies, what do you think of? Well, you think of 2 chocolate and some filling, and you know, you get a visual image. As soon as somebody says Oreo cookies, you get a visual image. If they add Oreo cookies to your milkshake or your ice cream, you already know partially what that taste is going to be like. All of that is built up in the brand. The expectation that you get, what you know about it, why you want it, all of that was strategized, and people have been paid lots of money for branding purposes. Well, you have to brand too. You have to be thinking about, what is my brand? What is the image? What do I want people to think when they see my name, hear me? When I walk into a room, that's when it starts, when you walk into the room. When you submit the resume, that's really when it starts. Because they're going to get an image of what is your brand based on what your resume is. Your resume is a marketing tool. So, how do we get career fair ready? Well, why do you want to go to it? Well, how does it help you? Why isn't this room full? This room should be full. Because we want all the CJ students to attend this event. All right, well, part of good preparation is understanding why you're attending. Why are you attending the career fair? Why are we telling you to go? Why are we spending time and energy putting it together? Well, there's going to be real life after college, and we're not going to be there with you, per se. Even though you can still come and see us at Career Services after you graduate if you need to. But there's real life after college, and going to a career fair starts heading you in that direction. It doesn't matter whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. And it's going to give you some real life reality checks and connections to the real world, because you're going to be talking to real life professionals when you go to the career fair. It's going to give you a chance to practice professional engagement. One of the things that I have observed when students come and see me in my office is I'll start talking to them. And I'll say something like, okay, you're going to get your degree in criminal justice from Sam Houston because you want to, and I want them to fill in the blank. Guess what's happening sometimes when I say because you want to? Yeah, they have no idea. Or what's happening right now, I hear silence. Okay, but if you're going to communicate with other professionals about who you are and what you can offer, they're not expecting to hear silence, and they're not expecting to hear you're not sure. Okay, that's not what they're expecting. So if you attend something like a career fair, if you attend a couple times a year, say you're a freshman, you get practice in how do I talk, professional talk, about me to other professionals. So even if you're not graduating, you don't want to walk away from the career fair without these things. You're going to get professional experience interacting with professional people. You're going to practice your interviewing and networking skills. A career fair is a large networking event. And one of the weaknesses that many students have is networking effectively. Trying out your elevator speech. Does everybody know what that is, and does everybody have one? Okay, let's start with, does everybody know what it is? Okay, I got one. Okay, so that means most people don't have one. All right, so the cool thing about an elevator speech or a 30-second commercial is that you can use that when you walk up to the professional recruiter at the career fair. You already have something prepared that sounds pretty good that you can say to them as your introduction. And you won't have to be nervous and awkward about it. Okay? So how does a 30-second commercial go? Okay. I was going to bring students to help me with this part today, but the scheduling didn't work out with our career services people. So I have to try to do it by myself. All right, so somebody in here, tell me what's one of your attributes. Hardworking, yay! Okay, so we have a hardworking person. Somebody else give me something, one of your attributes. Detail-oriented? Okay, detail and goal-oriented. Hardworking. Okay? I want one more. Leadership experience. Okay, so now, we're at the career fair. Who wants to volunteer to give me your name? That's all. Just your name. Andrea. Okay, great. So who wants to volunteer and just stand by me? You don't have to say anything. I just want you to stand by me because I don't have a career services person to stand by me right now. So could I get somebody? Don't all rush me. Come on up. Come stand by me. Wonderful. You're going to stand right there. This is our recruiter. So when you go to the career fair, there are going to be lots of recruiters all over the place. And so what you want to do, you don't want to just walk up to the recruiter and kind of stand there. Okay, that's not it, okay? Remember, we were practicing professionalism, right? So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to walk up to the recruiter. Good afternoon, my name is Andrea. I'm a Sam Houston student, and I'm looking forward to taking the leadership skills I've begun to develop and add that with my desire to be very hardworking, detail-oriented, and get into an entry-level position in criminal justice, hopefully with the city of Houston. Could you give me some information on how I might do that at your agency? Got the idea? Okay. Then the recruiter will take it from there. Okay? You've started it, you've initiated, the recruiter is ready. Oh yeah, hardworking, motivated, leadership experience. They might say, what kind of leadership experience? So be ready to answer that. What kind of work have you done? So you've opened the door for them to talk to you about stuff you're already good at because you planted that little seed there, okay? Can we have a hand for our recruiter? Yay! Okay, so it's as easy as that. I put that together on the spot, right? So you can do that too because we have time before we get to March, when the career fair happens, for you to get your 30-second commercial together, and I'm going to be out in the lobby 2 days, 2 hours apiece, to kind of help you with stuff before the career fair starts. On the 1st and the 6th, I'll be out there. Come and see me. If you want to run your 30-second commercial by me, that'd be awesome, because that gives you a chance to practice it. Okay, the other things you're going to do when you get there is you're going to try to find out about job and internship opportunities. Okay, how do you do that? You can tack that on to the end of your 30-second commercial. I'm not graduating yet, but I am really interested in what internship opportunities your organization might have, because it's a goal of mine to make sure I do an internship before I graduate. See how you just kind of throw that in there? Find out what skills and experience potential employers desire. Okay, this is where people sometimes hit a brick wall because they're ready to apply for something and they haven't researched the fact that you're not quite qualified for it yet. So when do you want to find out you're not quite qualified? Do you want to find that out as you approach graduation in 2 weeks? Or do you want to find that out with enough time to try to get yourself qualified when you're ready to apply? Well, if you go to the career fair and you find out some things of what they're looking for, you know what types of things you need to work on and develop. You know what kinds of things you want to polish up. Don't leave the career fair without asking for business cards. Why? Why do you not want to leave the career fair without asking for business cards? They have, if you notice, every recruiter you go to, every table will have business cards. Why? Exactly, so you can follow up with them. Do you think they want you to take their business card so you can just add it to your pretty business card collection that you're going to hang on your wall or something? No. They actually want you to use those business cards. So don't walk away without getting one, especially at the tables that you're really excited about what's happening with them. So don't go unprepared. Before you divide your preparation into 3 phases. So we're going to talk about the 3 phases. Before the fair, during the fair, and after the fair. That's how your preparation is going to be. So what do you do before the fair? Phase 1, before you go. At home, get your wardrobe together. Some of the feedback, we at Career Services are really good at collecting data and getting feedback. And some of the feedback that we have received from employers who come to our campus to recruit, pay money to have a table or whatever, to be at the career fair, is they don't like it when students come to the career fair dressed unprofessionally. They don't like you to come in your t-shirt, jeans, and, you know, running shoes. Why? You got any idea why? First impressions, yes, that's very important. Do you think they're going to come to the career fair just because it's on a college campus, dressed in their t-shirts, jeans, and why not? Say what? You don't wear it to work. How professional would you think they would be if they showed up like that? Not too professional, would you? So how professional do you think they'll think you are if you show up like that? Okay? So remember what I talked about, the personal branding? What kind of brand are you presenting when you come to the career fair not dressed like a professional? It's a professional event. So you're hurting your brand because you're giving this dual message. I'm coming to this professional event, but I'm not dressed professional. And so then the person is then kind of trying to figure out, okay, so how should I take them? Should I believe they're professional or not? Okay? So what does that mean? Well, select some professional attire. So in the photographs that I have up here, and the one over there to that side, I chose that picture because that is an example of what we call a wardrober. What's a wardrober? There are certain pieces of clothing that either you can purchase them together or purchase them separately, but they can be interchanged and give you several different versions of a professional look. Okay, so what do we have up there? We have a blazer, a skirt, closed-toe shoes, a pair of slacks, and you can't see it too good, but there's a white blouse up there. Okay, that's a good example of a wardrober. Why? White blouse will go with anything. Okay? Black slacks, white and black, they'll go with anything. All right, so you can interchange. It's raining outside, let me put on the black slacks and the blazer. It's hot outside. Well, let me put on the skirt and the blazer and the blouse. Okay. So that, with the guys, we have one guy in a suit. And I do get guys that I talk to in my office who will tell me, I don't own a suit. So if you don't own a suit, does that mean you should not attend the career fair? No. You want to go because you still want to go for all those reasons I told you need to go. But what are you going to do? Well, see the guy that's on your right? Okay. So he has on a button-up, a tie, some slacks, not jeans, and some shoes that aren't, athletic shoes. Okay, you can get away with that because you still look professional. But if you see the law enforcement people, the FBI folks, what are they going to have on? The suits. So it's always an awesome investment, male or female, to have a blazer in your wardrobe. You can have a blazer in your wardrobe, keep it in the trunk of your car. Uh-oh, you run into somebody you want to network in. Pull that black blazer out, throw it on over what you got on. Even if you have on a pair of jeans, that black blazer will change your look instantaneously. What if you don't have a lot of money to invest in a black blazer? Go to the Goodwill. Just go get one. You can get a black blazer, you can get something like that. Don't have to invest a lot of money in it, but just make sure it fits you nice, okay? All right. Plan for minimal makeup and accessories. So this is one of the other observations I've made. Some people go to a career fair and they confuse it with kind of how you dress up for a date. Okay. So date clothes are one thing. Career fair clothes are another. Now you can tweak your date clothes, but you don't want to walk in there looking like you're going on a date. Okay? So the makeup is a little bit more reserved when you go in there, okay? You want to have makeup because it gives you a professional look, but you don't want to have makeup like you're going to do a photo shoot or go on a date, okay? All right, so that's why I chose those two photographs there, because they have on makeup, but it's not over the top. But they do have a real professional look in both those pictures. Okay, this is the other thing I've observed when I'm watching people come to career fairs and or mock interviews and or real interviews. Sometimes people have on, yes, I have on my button-up shirt. Yes, I have on my dress slacks. But they're wrinkled. Obviously wrinkled. Not like, I was sitting in the car and it got creased. Not that. I mean, I pulled it out of wherever I found it from and threw it on because I was supposed to have on a button-up. Okay, don't do that. Why? It goes against your brand. If you want your brand to say, not really, I did this on the fly, no preparation, I just kind of grabbed something, that's part of my brand. Okay? Don't beat your own brand down. All righty. Practice your elevator speech. We talked about that. What's supposed to be in it? Your 30-second commercial. Well, what's supposed to be in it? Who are you? Hi, my name is Ariana. I always say your first and last name, though. Hello, my name is Carol Adams Shearer. Okay? All right. Who are you? I'm a senior at Sam Houston. I'm about to graduate in May. Attributes you possess. I have leadership experience, and I did a ride-along last summer, really enjoyed it, something, Some of you are that. Type of position you're looking for. Put all that in your little 30-second commercial / elevator speech. Now, this is something else you want to do before you get there. Find out who's coming. How can you do that? See that web address I put at the bottom of the page? You can write down that web address, you can go to it, and you can find out who's coming. So, you might not have time to go to all 50 employers that are there. So if you research in advance, know who's coming, you can look through there and say, okay, I want to make sure I don't miss this company, and this company. Researching who's going to be there is going to let you prioritize, know who you don't want to miss, visit their website so you can get some brownie points while you're talking to them and have relevant questions about stuff that really does apply to their organization. And so then you can ask those questions. See, now you're not drawing stuff out of the top of your head. You actually have stuff you know that you're going to say to the recruiters. Prepare your resume. Okay, that's a biggie. Now, these days, oftentimes, employers will have you apply online, so sometimes they might not need your resume. They'll tell you to upload it or whatever. But sometimes they want it, okay? So you want to go prepared for the employers who want to have your resume. Now, see, I did it again. I put another link, web address, where you can go. I also brought some packets to help you in the development of your resume. And I'll be out there, like I said, a couple days next week. If you take one of these and follow this, then you can come and see me one of those days I'm out in the lobby and have me check it over and say, yay, it's ready. Or wait a minute, you might need to fix a couple things. Okay, but you want to have a good resume, have it critiqued and proofread. You can make appointments or come see me in my office if I don't have appointments scheduled at that time, and I will look at your resume. Those are the dates that I'll be out in the lobby and the times. Don't walk around with a cumbersome briefcase or a backpack with your resume in it that you got to dig in it and pull it out. Have a professional portfolio or a very good-looking folder that you can place your resumes in. That's what you walk in with, and you can easily pull them out. Keeping that brand going. I got it together. I'm the one you want to call me. Okay? Okay, hint, hint. Some employers may ask you to submit your resume online, so your resume should be ready when you meet them. So you can send them your resume quickly, not one day when you get around to it. By then, they would have forgotten all about you and who you are. Okay, before you go, get those questions ready to ask. Go to the websites, jot down 2 or 3 things you'd like more information about. Explore whether or not you're currently qualified for a position. This might be an area you might want to get more information about when you're in front of them. If you're not sure, if it's unclear to you, if it doesn't say. Okay. Phase 2, during the career fair, stash your backpack. Now, sometimes we'll have a place for you to do that at the career fair. But don't walk in there with the backpack on your back while you got your professional clothes on. Okay, that's a conflicting image. Most career fairs and our Sam Houston career fairs, we will have bags there that you can pick up and, stash your giveaways, business cards, all that kind of stuff in. So you don't have to be walking around there with the backpack on you. Okay, so only carry your portfolio or your folder, a purse and a pen, and the little bag, Okay, when you get there, one of the first things you want to do is check in and get a map. Why do you want to do that? Well, you want to make the most of the time that you have. We know you have classes. You know you have classes, so you might have to go to work. So locate the employers on the map so you know where they are. So when you go to the career fair, all the people you knew that you had said, I want to make sure I don't miss these people, you know where to find them and you can go directly to them instead of hunting their career fair once you get in there, trying to figure out where are they. Visit those tables first. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, and this little note. Appear as if you are more interested in what they have to say than the freebies that they're giving away. Why? Because you don't want to fight your brand. Okay? All right. All right, then go in there and get ready to make your pitch. Get ready to throw that 30-second commercial down, ask your questions. So there's some other people in front of you. So what do you do while some other people in front of you? Do you dig through all the giveaways? No. What you do is you start eavesdropping. What are they telling the people in front of you? What kind of information are they giving? Might be something you want to ask a more detailed question about. Might be something you want to follow up on. And it can help you start your conversation. Hello, I'm Carol Adams Shearer. I'm a senior at Sam Houston University, and I noticed you were just talking about that, okay? For people who aren't too sure about what they want to say, there are all different kinds of ways that you can pick up on what you want to say. Okay, so then greet them professionally, use your elevator speech, ask your questions, and you'll have a lot of little notepads that people give away at career fairs typically. Take some notes, especially about the folks you were impressed with or you really think you might want to work there. Take some notes because you're going to use those notes later when you get ready to follow up with them. Find out how to contact them. You know, the cards might not be laying out there, or they might be all gone. So, do you have a card? That's how you can find out how to contact them. Just say that. Do you have a card? Okay. All right. Be courteous and respectful of everyone's time, and limit yourself to 5 or 10 minutes, because, you know, there'll be other people there at the career fair who want to have jobs. Phase 3, after the fair. So after the fair is over, do not walk out of the career fair and forget about everything you learned while you were there. Don't stash all the cards down at the bottom of your backpack or some other place where you might lose them. What you're going to do is you're going to get organized. So one of the things you might want to do to get organized is separate the employers that you want to follow up with pretty soon from the employers that you might not want to follow up with right away. Got a stack over here. I need to get in touch with these people ASAP. Got a stack over here. All right. File it. Find somewhere you're going to keep this type of information so that you know where to go to when you need to go to it in the future. Follow through. In writing, within 2 to 3 days, send a thank you mentioning 1 or 2 items from your notes that were impactful to you. Include a copy of your resume in this communication. Apply. If you are qualified and you're ready, you're about to graduate, or sometimes jobs, you know, you don't have to be ready to graduate. Whatever the case may be, if you're ready and qualified, go ahead and apply. Prepare yourself if you're not ready. If you're not ready or you don't meet the qualifications yet, start putting things into place so that you can be ready. Come and see us. Sometimes people don't know how to get ready. That's part of what we're for. I went to the career fair and, you know, I need some help. All right. Now, then when you get an interview, call that number at the bottom of your screen and schedule a mock interview with Career Services so that your interviewing skills, I remember the brand you started, right? You want to follow through on that, so you don't want to get in the interview and slub it up. Oh yeah, that's a really strong candidate, has it together, and then you get in the interview and we have those, you know. So once you get that interview, call Career Services and schedule an appointment for a mock interview, and we'll help you get ready. Support is here for you. That's what we're here for. So we have lots of support on campus. These are a few things. Career counseling, of course. Center for Leadership and Service. I also want to point out this, the etiquette dinner. The etiquette dinner is coming up. I highly recommend you go to it. Why? Because it's part of your job from time to time, or sometime involved in your interviewing process, you never know. You may be required to eat a meal in a professional setting. And if you are, you don't want to sit there looking like you're not quite sure what the place setting is all about. Or you're not quite sure what to do with your purse. Or you're not quite sure, you know, any of that. So go to the etiquette dinner so that that's not an issue either, okay? Okay. All right, it's easy to find us. I'm in room C218 from 9 to 3. That's my appointment times on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But also over in Academic Building 4, Suite 210, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. We do have a Career Services office at the Woodlands campus. And those are some online ways that you can get in touch with Career Services. And those are, you know, our regular hours and our walk-in hours. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Going once. Going twice. Yes. Mm-hmm. The question was, is it pointless to do an internship if you're already a senior? Okay, so let me address that a little bit. Okay, this is the deal. This is what happens. Okay, so we see people prior to graduation and after graduation. If I see someone after graduation who's telling me, okay, well, I'm struggling, you know, I put in some resumes, but I haven't heard anything back. These are some of the things I say. Number one, have I seen your resume? Because that might be one of the reasons why you're not hearing anything back. Number two, did you do an internship? I'm going to ask that. If you graduate, you've been okay. So one of the things I'm going to tell them, okay, you know, even if you graduate and you can get an internship, because some companies do, FBI included, okay, Secret Services included, they still offer internships for people who have recently graduated. So is it too late? No. Why? Because interning is a networking tool. What will it do? Get your foot in the door, okay? So even if you haven't done one, if you don't have a job offer yet, and sometimes when you're talking about applying to municipalities, when you're talking about applying to things that are governmental related, or sometimes even not, the hiring process can take forever. So you could be doing an internship, gaining experience to now strengthen your resume and make it more competitive, while you're waiting for some of this bureaucratic, you know, stuff to happen for you to be able to get a job. Or now, you know, then you might do an internship and might not need one of those jobs you applied for, because the people you interned with might want to hire you. Okay? Any other questions? Yeah. Okay, so the deal with doing more than one internship. Okay, yes, I didn't forget. Yay, thank you. Can you do more than one internship? All right, so the internship that Shelley and Dr. Dozier was talking about, that's the internship that you do and get your 9 hours credit. So you can't do multiple internships and get 9 hours of credit for doing it. But you can do multiple internships. You just won't get the 9 hours credit for it. What advantage is it to doing multiple internships? Well, say you do an internship when you're a sophomore because you thought you wanted to be a paralegal. And then you did an internship in the law office and you figured out, you know what? Like criminal justice, but not this part. That's part of the advantage of doing multiple internships. The other thing, what were we talking about? Networking and professionalism. So if you have multiple internship experiences, what are you doing? You are growing your network. People you can contact upon graduation. People who can give you references and referrals. Okay? It's all about marketing your brand and building your brand. The more of this kind of stuff you do, the stronger the brand becomes, okay? The more competitive it becomes. So don't just kind of wait around, okay, I'm a student, that's my job. Well, while you're a student and that's your job and that's all you're doing, other people are doing things that will go on their resume, that'll make that resume stronger, that will make them more competitive. Okay? Okay. Any other questions? I am here for you. Yes, there is a job fair. It's on Wednesday, this week. Oh yeah, that one's March 7th. Yeah, so yes, the career fair that we're really promoting right now over here in CJ is on the 7th. Now this is another little tip I give students who are daring enough to go for it. Don't limit yourself to one type of career fair. Sometimes there are jobs that would be relevant to you at some of the other career fairs. And it gives you more chances to go do what? Network, yes, yes. I'm so proud of you all. We've made progress today. Okay, yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
Besides Goodwill, on a college budget, where else do you have a recommendation for a shop for professional female clothing?
Yeah, yes, the question is, if you don't want to go to the Goodwill, for whatever the reason may be, but you don't want to spend a mint on your professional attire, do I have any suggestions? All right, so I will say I'm not from Texas, only lived here a year, so all things Texas I don't know yet. But one of the things I discovered in Texas is there's a store called Ross that has things that are pretty reasonably priced, where I would say you probably can get a blazer, or the slacks, or the, Burlington Coat Factory is another good one. Secondhand shops, yeah, resale shops are awesome. Because the deal with resale shops is sometimes then you can go to a resale shop and get a designer blazer for the same price you paid for a new one at Ross. But this designer blazer is going to make a really nice statement and serve you for many years. Okay? And that's guys too. This isn't just female stuff, that's guys too. Okay, any other questions? Okay. Yeah, okay, so I am definitely sympathetic to the fact that we work and attend class and all that at Sam Houston. And Sam Houston does not necessarily have heel-friendly terrain. So there are a couple things you could do. One, you can slip a pair of heels in a bag and then only put them on when you get to the career fair if you want to wear heels. Or you can wear a very low heel pump. Or you can wear a flat that looks really nice. Okay? The main thing about the shoe for females is that the toe is enclosed, because that's the part that gives it the professional look part. Okay? Okay. Yes? Yes, that's a question that Shelley addressed. The question is, can you apply for the Sam Houston 9-hour credit internship if you don't meet all of the qualifications right now? And her answer to that was yes, within reason, I imagine. Yes, within reason. I mean, you know, don't be a freshman and you're way far away from any of the qualifications. But, you know, if you're getting there, yes, go ahead and apply. Okay? Any other questions? I must say I'm impressed because, you know, sometimes it requires a little bit of, okay, let me get up the guts to ask a question sometimes in these kinds of things. And you all have come a long way from where we were at the beginning of this presentation to where we are now. And when you ask the questions, this I hear is being live streamed. So when you ask questions, that helps other people who may be watching that have the same question that you have. So thank you. Do we have any other questions? Okay then, wonderful. It's been awesome speaking with you all this afternoon. You know where to reach me because I've told you. Look for me in the lobby also. And I am looking forward to working with you further on your quest for your employment post Sam Houston.